Time for more Seattle Real Estate Radio with your hosts, Christian Nossum and Dan Keller.
All right, hey, welcome back to Seattle Real Estate Radio on KKOL Business Radio, 1300 AM. Hey, just a reminder, we're here every single Monday. Christian, every Monday, man.
Every Monday.
Every Monday at 3 o'clock.
Yep.
Hitting you up in your cubicles,
car,
home. And then, again, just a reminder, they're all recorded.
They're all recorded.
Yeah, we send these out all the time.
Stream it on iHeartRadio
Live.
Or if you just want to hear our voice any other time, download the podcast.
Download them. No, it's good stuff. What I love doing is sending them back out, sending them, re-syndicating them on Facebook and Twitter, and then getting responses from people. Hey, I was watching your show from November.
Yeah,
and it's January.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Hey, we've got a great guest today. Why don't you introduce him and let's learn.
So today we have the man of Ballard Reuse, Joel Blaschke. So Ballard Reuse is a pretty sweet store. But first, I'm going to tell you a little about him. Then I'll go into what Ballard Reuse actually is. Or maybe I'll let him do it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll plan it out as we go. So Joel is trained in the field of salvage and reuse. And prior to working at Ballard Reuse, he was the field crew manager at the Seattle Restore, where he worked for 12 years. Over the past 14 years, he and his crew have managed to divert over 1 million pounds of reusable materials from the landfill annually. And before getting into the salvage field, he sold shipping containers and semi-trailers in Tacoma. He's born and raised in the Northwest, grew up in Auburn, moved to Seattle in '95 to attend college. Joel and his wife, Allison, currently live in North Seattle in a cottage that they renovated pretty much completely with salvage material. So, Joel, thank you very much for coming on.
Of course. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Do you want to show the listener or the watchers your sweet sweet gear? Ballard Reuse sweatshirt. Yeah, that's showing up real nice.
Yeah,
Good
we just
job.
had these made for the crew to keep them warm in our unheated warehouse at the store in Ballard. So
probably important. Yep. So I know I've been there before, Dan. I don't think you've been there, but it's a pretty sweet location for having that.
It's pretty great. Yeah.
So you're like right off 15th and Market?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
just north of the bridge, south of Market. I mean, right on 15th Ave Northwest, in the heart of kind of Ballard. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, people drive by. They don't know who we are. They see our sign and they stop by, and it's awesome.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what Ballard Reuse is for anyone that's never heard of it or seen it?
So Ballard Reuse is an architectural salvage store. We're open 7 days a week. People bring us all kinds of building materials, doors, windows, hardwood flooring, appliances, you name it. It's kind of like a giant thrift store for building materials.
Wow. Cool.
That's how I describe it.
So
light
that's
fixtures.
a good way to say it, actually.
Yeah.
So say I'm remodeling my house, and I'm going to redo all the doors and the lights and the light fixtures and everything. I'm going to throw it all away. Oh, no. I can give it all to you instead.
Yeah, so what you would do, either you or your contractor, ideally you would call us because you would save more money than having your contractor call you because he's getting paid to remove it.
Exactly.
So you'd call us, I would come out and take a look, create a list, and then you would schedule us like any other subcontractor, and we'd come out in one day and pull everything out.
Wow.
We don't charge for that, and we can give you a tax donation receipt or in-store credit.
Wow.
And the thing to think about is everyone says, we don't have time for salvage. Almost 95% of our jobs last less than 1 day. A lot of them are half a day.
Wow.
So when a contractor tells you they don't have time, it's not true. There's always time.
Yeah.
So,
it's probably because they're not making money off of you.
Yeah. They do love us, though, because they're getting paid, and then they call us, and we remove the stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they look like heroes.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Very nice.
So what kind of material do you see more often or most often? And then on the flip side, what's kind of the most coveted?
So right now everyone wants barnwood, which is kind of gray. I mean, you could take your cedar fence in West Seattle. We could take it down and say it's barnwood. It's just weathered wood. People want that. We see a lot of kitchen cabinets. I mean, we could probably fill 5 warehouses full of doors and light fixtures, cheap Home Depot light fixtures, things like that from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, particle board cabinets, things like that. We see a lot of that we turn down. But doors are probably the most common that we see that we could fill up tons and tons of space with that. So we have to be selective about that stuff.
I'm sure. You got to pick the nice solid wood kind of craftsman style.
Well, everything around here is fir.
Yeah.
So any painted solid door in any house in Seattle, Western Washington is fir. So underneath that paint is solid fir. Particle board slab doors, the hollow core doors are a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
You can't sand them. You can't. They're
Can't do anything.
Yeah,
with
you can go to Home Depot and buy one for $30, and so
Yeah.
it's kind of a throwaway item, which is too bad.
Yeah.
People are always looking for stainless steel high-end appliances. Wolf, Viking, Sub-Zero.
I actually
Mealy.
saw on your blog, the Ballard Reuse website on the blog, you guys have like a list of upcoming items, which I thought was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And I've actually been following you on Instagram for a while.
Oh, great.
And
yeah.
I always like seeing the cat wandering around wherever he's sleeping.
Yeah.
And yeah, I saw that you had some nice appliances coming in this last week.
Yeah, so there was a house on Capitol Hill, and it was renovated probably mid-2000s and had a nice Wolf range and a Sub-Zero fridge, and they wanted to go with something new, so we ripped it out. Yeah. And nice
darn.
maple cabinets. Yeah. So, yeah, and the Wolf, it was a Wolf gas cooktop, 6-burner, and I think we sold it for $300.
Wow.
It's 10 years old, but
still.
yeah. Oh, and a contractor bought it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, he was really excited for his own house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was great.
That's
What's
awesome.
what's your Instagram handle for our listeners?
That's a good question.
I think
Oh, I put 'em on-
I think it's Ballard_reuse, or maybe it's just Ballard reuse. We'll put it on the blog.
Okay,
We'll put it on the website.
Yeah, sorry, I should know that.
It's
I follow it. but-
Ballard_reuse. Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's pretty great. I think we reached 1,000 followers in little under a year. And Brian O'Neill, our store manager, he's the guy who handles that. And
Sweet.
it's great. Yeah.
Well, you just got another follower because I'm following it right now, but it is pretty neat. If nowadays with photos, it's huge. You can see exactly some of the finds that
Yep.
you guys you're going out and finding. So yeah, hit him up on Instagram if you'd like, Ballard_reuse. So.
Well, and the cool thing about Instagram, we're not trying to sell stuff on there. We're just trying to get people to get interested, and they see stuff, and it's just a cool way
To show off what you got coming in. And
and people love the cats, and it's funny when we post stuff about the cats; those get the most likes of anybody. Yeah, so
Cats are pretty amazing online. They have a magical power about them.
So
Especially if they have laser eyes.
Yeah.
for sure.
So, what's kind of the coolest things that you found for your own place when you redid your cottage?
So, probably one of my favorite pieces. We have a 1920s. They call them left-hand, right-hand tubs. It's instead of an alcove tub that has two walls on both sides. It's an open curved tub. Some people call them J tubs. It came from an apartment building on Queen Anne, the Carrie Ave Apartments, and it was just a great tub. I love it. The house was built in the 40s. This is from the 20s, and it kind of anchors the new bathroom. And when we took them out, it was kind of cool. Behind the walls, there was old pint bottles and cigarette packs from the 20s.
Wow.
So that was kind of neat. And we carried it down 6 flights of stairs. So that was, but
Not fun.
no, not at all. And I have a piano.
Wow.
I have a really cool old metal sign. That's a Evinrude metal sign from the 20s. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
I mean, everything in my house pretty much came through the store.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of neat stuff. But
I'm sure you're like never ending updating your house because whenever you see something cool and
it's a challenge. I met my wife at the store, so we kind of have a rule: if something comes home, something else to go away. But
that's a good rule.
Yeah,
we've had a couple home organizers on, and they've said the same thing. Whenever you get something new, you got to let something go.
Well, in my experience, there's so much stuff. Doing this for 14 years, I mean, and filling, I don't know how many truckloads. There's so much stuff out there, and so to covet one thing, it's tough though. I see some really cool stuff that I want to take home, and I kind of give it a 2-day thing, or that Wolf cooktop. I might want that in my next house, or so it's a challenge for sure. Yeah,
I'm sure. It's like having a shopping addiction and you're working at the store.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh, every single day it is. There's something that I want to take home. Yeah. No more tchotchkes.
Yeah.
That's kind of the rule.
Yep.
And so.
Now it's just cool, big stuff that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a challenge. It's a good challenge though.
Yeah.
Hey, do people ever come back to you and maybe show you pictures of what they purchased from you, maybe refurbished it, reconditioned it, and then how they're using it in their particular
Yeah,
home.
we encourage that.
Yeah,
Obviously, we want to
cool.
see people do it. All the time. Restaurant owners do it. Homeowners, people that just build furniture.
I was going to ask you about that too. Is it just residential, or do you get a lot of commercial?
Oh, we get tons of commercial stuff. We just salvaged a lab in Fremont,
Wow.
the Allen Brain Institute.
We've had a couple clients that work there.
Okay.
When they were still in Fremont, before they moved to South Lake
and
Union.
it's going to be Google's taking it over.
Yeah.
We did the Miller Hole Partnership, a pretty well-known architecture firm downtown. They're renovating their offices. We've done churches, hospitals. We did a funeral home in Ballard, Wiggins and Sons, about 3 months ago, and that was a little weird. I didn't get to go in the basement, but the crew went down in the basement. And yeah,
Creepy?
that was
just
very creepy.
Just a little bit creepy.
Well, there was carts to hold caskets. So that was a little interesting.
Yeah.
Anybody lay on one and push around? Or
not while I was there, but I'm sure. Yeah,
I'm sure they
some of
did.
that stuff I tell them. I don't need to know.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
But yeah, lots of schools, churches, hospitals, restaurants. Everything, anything and everything. We actually salvaged some stuff in this building.
Oh, wow.
Carpet tile from this building, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. Tenant improvement.
Wow.
project. Yeah, so I knew right where I was going.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that made it easy to get
So
here
have
today.
you always been into like antiques or rustic type stuff or?
Not. I mean, my dad grew up on a farm, and so he was always really into old motorcycles and old cars and things like that. But I grew up in the '80s, and so I was into Nintendo and all that new stuff. And then you get a little bit older, and you kind of gain perspective. There's some really cool stuff out there. So I wouldn't say always, but yeah, I'm definitely into it now.
Yeah.
In the last 20 years or so, I've been into it. So,
Love it. Yeah,
yeah.
I think my wife's gonna like you. We renovated, or we built a farmhouse 2 years ago. It was a 1927 farmhouse with 2 barns.
Oh,
so
wow.
she had a heyday going through those barns and finding. Well, we can talk about it off air sometime, but she's gonna love coming down there. This is a huge find.
Yeah, I know. I went there and bought some old fir flooring because I was redoing part of my, which is now a rental, in Wallingford, and part of the flooring got all messed up.
So you needed to patch in.
I just needed to patch it in, and that was the only way I could think to do it, and it made perfect sense.
Well, yeah, old growth fir flooring that's in a ton of houses in Seattle you can't find, and if you do find it, it's very expensive, and it's going to be thicker, and it's just not going to have that same look. So if you're renovating your old house and you need to take out some walls, you get patches where the sill plate was. You need that for flooring. So fir flooring is very is coveted. Yeah, and people are shocked because I'll go into a house and there's carpet. And I pull back the carpet, and they're like, "What do you, why are you doing that?" I'm looking for the fir flooring.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
yeah, that's a big time find.
All right. So, Joel, this has been awesome so far. We're going to come back. Dan's got a ton more questions for you. So, stay tuned. After the break, we'll be back with Joel Blaschke, Ballard Reuse. Stay tuned. Seattle Real Estate Radio.
We're back with Seattle Real Estate Radio with your hosts, Christian Nossum and Dan Keller.
Hello, and welcome back to Seattle Real Estate Radio here on KKOL AM. We are back with Joel Blaschke of Ballard Reuse, and Dan and I were just peppering him with questions in the break just now. Probably should have had that one recorded.
Probably should have it rolling.
we can do it again.
Yeah, we'll do it again. So, Dan, why don't you ask all the questions we just asked?
Well, I love a lot of our guests because we get to find out kind of your backstory, and I love kind of your business model. I think it's brilliant, but I want to kind of dive deep into like contractors. So when people actually, specifically to a contractor, when they come in, what are they looking for?
So a contractor would either come in looking for, maybe like a specific piece of trim for a pre-1930s house, or, a homeowner sends them in on a hunt for a door. A lot of people need an access door, and they don't want to go buy a $300 specific cut access door where they can make it. Contractors are good at doing stuff like that. Some guys just come in and just looking for ideas for different people, maybe some accent tile. I mean, we're open 7 days a week, and we get some contractors come in every single day, and they're either working on their own house, or they're in there for somebody else, or they just want to hang out. Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those stores where
like
it's kind of a
Cheers.
treasure hunt. Yeah. We get people in every single day, and we go, yeah, hey, Norm, how you doing? Yeah. I mean, there are people we know very well.
Is there an actual Norm? Because that'd be awesome.
Jerry, the plumber, comes in. There's Z, the electrician. I mean, there's a lot of people that we know really well. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
This real estate agent named Christian.
Yeah, exactly. Christian Nossum just comes in there.
Yep.
It's kind of how you found him, right? Though?
Pets our cats all the time.
He just comes in for the cat.
There are people that come in just for the cats. Yeah,
I have
they bring
2
their
cats,
kids.
so I probably don't need to do that. But
I love it. Well, I asked you that because I kind of wanted to give our listeners kind of an idea of what comes in and what you cater to in regards to your clients. So, they may be looking for something specific to a 1930 home on, Capitol Hill or wherever it may be. So I think that's huge to understand. I think one of the other things I wanted to talk with you about is you have a lot of reclaimed doors. So if someone's looking for a door specifically, what should they consider before they come in? What kind of get them thinking in the right direction before they come in?
Well, obviously I would measure it many times, figure out which way it swings. Is it a solid door? Is it a single panel door, 5-panel? What kind of look you're looking for? Painted, unpainted? There's so many things to think about when looking for a door. I point people towards Frank Lumber. They have a great website, and they have a link on there that says what to look for when you're putting in a new door. Okay. But all our doors are solid for the most part. Yeah. We have about 400 to 500 doors. Probably a third of them are in the jam. So I would say measurements, and I'd say that's the key is probably figuring out measurements and be patient and
I'd say with doorways, like measuring the actual opening, measure at the bottom, measure at the top, measure in the middle, because there's a lot of settling that goes on in a house, especially that's going to be an older one, that door is going to fit the vintage, the era.
Yeah, most houses, if they're older than 50 years, are not square for the most part. I mean, they can be, but it's a challenge. And door hanging, I'm sure you guys know, that's kind of like a carpenter's, that's their intro, is like if you can hang a door. So it's not for everybody, but it can be done.
Yeah, so I definitely can't do it. So,
But just, be patient with us. We don't have an online inventory. We measure all the doors, but a lot of it is kind of a treasure hunt.
Yeah. Which is kind of fun, honestly.
Yeah. But we try to weed through the doors. They're not rotten. We don't take doors that are coming apart. They're good, solid doors that we have. So.
Yeah, and we talked about this too before we went to break, but with appliances. You're not taking just any type of appliance, correct?
No, so refrigerators and ranges don't have a lot of moving parts, but you start getting in dishwashers, washers, dryers are okay, but so any dishwasher over 5 years, we typically shy away unless it's a Miele or something like that. They just
some high end.
Yeah, dishwashers are just notorious for not traveling well, and refrigerators can be challenging too. You lay it down, things like that. But a range, an apartment style range, you plug it in, it's good to go. A dryer, same thing. So we try to test them in the field, but yeah, for the most part, we're really thoughtful about that stuff. We don't try to bring in stuff that we don't want people to bring stuff back that doesn't work.
Exactly.
So,
talking with Christian and talking with you over the break, your prices are just phenomenal on some of the. I mean, what'd you say you sold that wolf for $300?
Yeah, $200.
$200 for a wolf range.
Yeah, a cooktop.
Yeah,
but
wow.
No, it's a great. I mean, we'll get a lot of high-end decor wall ovens and some of those prices, Gagano, Decor, Viking, you start getting into those. Yeah. You're talking, an economy car, $3,000 to $4,000, $5,000 occasionally.
Yeah.
So, and we're selling them for pretty reasonable price.
Yeah. Well, again, I want to bring up your Instagram, and you're going to get an idea of what's coming in. So, again, maybe, take some time to go over there and take a look at what they're doing. But something that I see my wife is kind of into this whole vintage and refurbished type stuff. It seems to be trendy right now. I don't know if it's just because I live with Jenny and she's super, into that stuff. But is it kind of trendy, the refurbishing and the vintage and the...
For sure. And I think Seattle, it's kind of built into people's, their mentality here to reuse. There's a lot of green things going on. But it's even expanding more into, people that typically would just go to Home Depot, I want new. More people are getting into it. I mean, you guys watch HGTV, there's all those shows, and they incorporate barnwood and... it still drives me nuts when they just throw the kitchen cabinets in the dumpster, but they do salvage some of the stuff. So yeah, I would say it's trendy. I mean, when the economy's good, we do well. When the economy's bad, we do well because people want to save money and they want to spend money. So we're as busy as we've ever been.
That's
Yeah.
a pretty
I'm
good
sure.
business model to have.
Exactly.
Protecting yourself in either or. I mean, that's brilliant, man.
It's good. People want to remodel. When it's
Yeah.
bad, they want to save
They wanna
money.
save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's great. I mean, Seattle's weird. I don't know if people don't work or what, but it's Wednesday in this middle of the day, and the store's packed with people. And they have their lattes and their coffees, and they're in there with their, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're always busy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. So you mentioned too. Okay, so a few minutes ago you mentioned tile, like old tile. I think it was green or whatever color you said it was. Talk to me about some bathroom trends that you're seeing in your store.
So in our store, I mean, I think timeless subway tile. People are always looking for that stuff. Some of the new Ann Sachs kind of stuff, like interlocking, retro-looking tile, people like. The tricky part with us is we're getting a lot of leftovers. So people, I'm sure if you guys have renovated a house, you've overbought and you end up with 2 or 3 sheets.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for tile from us, I would say it's more like try to look for something as an accent tile. You're not going to do
You're not going to
whole-
get enough to do a whole room or
Exactly.
anything.
So what you want to do is maybe find some cheap field tile from Home Depot and then come into our store. Maybe you could find some high-end, nicer
Yeah.
tile.
That's a great idea.
So, but in trends in bathrooms, I mean, vessel sinks seem like they're going away a little bit, and more like spa-like. That's what everybody wants, freestanding tub kind of thing.
Like clawfoot tub. I was gonna ask you about the clawfoot tubs.
Yeah, they kind of come and they kind of come and go. I've been doing this 14 years, and when I first started, they were impossible to find, and then we got a lot of them, and then they got popular again, and now we're finding more and more of them. So it's just trends, and
Weird.
and they're really quaint. But if you use one every day, they're not the greatest thing to use. So if it's your spare bathroom, they're really cool, or you have an inn or something like that. They're really neat.
I hate
but
'em.
But they look cool. But functionally
look
they're
cool, but
but
functionally
people
they're a pain.
still come in looking for them. You
Yeah.
know, if they're renovating an old farmhouse or something, they
No,
want
and it
that
makes
look.
sense
Yeah.
for a specific bathroom
Yeah.
that you're not using every single day. It makes
Yeah.
sens. It looks cool. It's still usable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not
One thing I'm
practical.
noticing is everybody is ripping out those jetted tubs from the 90s, and Bellevue jetted tubs that took up a third of
Yeah,
the
of
the
bathroom,
bathroom,
that they
yep.
never use. Yeah. So,
Yeah, and I tell people when they're looking at houses, they're like, "Oh, it's got a jetted tub, yes," and I'm like, honestly, you're probably never going to use that thing.
No, and
maybe
have
you'll
fun
use
cleaning,
it once.
Have fun cleaning those jets.
I know, and you're supposed to
Yeah.
clean them like
Yeah,
every
yeah,
3
it's
months.
No,
gross.
it's kind of sad because those things they just end up in the dump. And
Yeah.
they're off white, or the plastic parts on
color.
it changed color.
Yeah.
So those are going away.
Well, I know our listeners. We have listeners from Christian and I opened up today from Pierce County to Whatcom County up north in Bellingham, and obviously we've got clients all over the state too that tune into previous episodes. How far do you travel?
We would go anywhere in the state. We've gone to Oregon before. I mean, it's really depends on what the material is.
So is there an interview process over the phone for somebody outside of the Seattle area for you to go? You would, hey, maybe send us some photos, give us an idea of what you've got.
Exactly. They can fill out a form on our website,
Okay.
and then, or they can call me, and I usually call them back within 24 hours.
Okay.
And I know what kind of questions to ask people.
Okay.
Quantity, all that type of stuff. We can't go to Lake Stevens for a toilet, obviously, or a door. But if there's
Sorry, Dan.
yeah. But
I'll tell you what, man, you would love, I guarantee it, if you went into one of our
you would,
barns.
yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I'm going to send you some photos, and
yeah.
I think you might have some fun out there.
No, I'm willing to drive anywhere at any time if I
Cool.
think it's worth our while.
Cool.
So
Okay.
I'm not shy about that. I'm willing to. I go all over and look at stuff
For a good
every
find.
day. Yep.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Ballard Reuse carefully salvages materials from houses, businesses, schools, restaurants, churches, pretty much anything else prior to a remodel or demolition. They also pick up materials that are no longer needed or wanted from your home or job site. The nice thing is they don't charge.
No.
They don't
No.
charge to take it out and remove it. Well, that's part of the reason why they're so popular and why they get so much inventory. So you'd be dealing with Joel in that regard. If you are interested in having them come out, obviously I'm going to give you their website, phone number, address, but I'm also going to tell you a little bit more about them too. But if you do end up giving them a bunch of materials, the thing that I just learned today, I did not know this, they can offer you either a tax donation receipt or store credit or cash.
That's awesome.
They'll actually pay
Yeah.
you for that stuff. So that's pretty sweet. They're dedicated to keeping reusable materials out of the landfill as well. as being a resource to the community for creativity and inspiration. They got a 10,000 square foot store located in the heart of Ballard, like we talked about earlier. 15th, just south of Market. They're on the east side of 15th, from memory.
Yes.
Had to go picture it. Their address is 1440 Northwest 52nd Street in Seattle, 98107. Their phone number is 206-297-9119. That's 206-297-9119. Their website is ballardreuse.com, ballardreuse.com, all one word. They're on Instagram, Ballard_reuse. They're on Facebook, just look them up. Or you can even email the store at ballardreuse.com. So that is,
Well,
they're
just
awesome.
it's just Christian.
It's so
a-
fun
yeah,
to walk through the store, though.
Yeah.
If you've never been there and you're just putzing around on a Saturday,
Yeah.
or
get a
apparently
lot
if
of
you
those
don't
people.
work on Wednesday,
Yeah.
you can
Maybe.
go in there and you're gonna
Yeah. Well, we've got another guest that came on. It's going to help our listeners save money or make money. So, hey, I really appreciate your time, Joel.
Yeah,
It's been
thank you,
great.
Joel.
Yeah.
This has been great. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. All right, so that's it for Joel. We're gonna come back. Dan's gonna talk about the mortgage market and give you a heads up on there. So stay tuned.
Seattle Real Estate Radio with your hosts, Christian Nossum and Dan Keller, continues after this. This.